Welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. And today's topic is how to spot narcissist children. How to spot them early. Before we get started, I'd like to say welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to all the new viewers, the new subscribers, and welcome to you who have been with me from the very beginning. I really appreciate you. Now let's dive right into this topic. Remember, the narcissist is created from trauma. And many children who grew up in a traumatic environment, some of them, I'm not going to say all of them, but some of them are narcissists. That's when the demon comes to them at an early age. That's how they're created. Now, I'm going to tell you, I've seen some narcissist children come out of the foster care system. And I'll tell you why. Because in the foster care system, you never know who these kids end up with. And some of these foster parents, they don't really care about the kids. They're in it just for the money. Some of these kids are traumatized at the hands of these foster parents. But all narcissists don't have to go to foster care. But even in a home that's full of violence, neglect will create narcissist children. And let's look at what really happens. The child is traumatized by the caregiver, wherever it is. Now, for instance, somebody may have touched them sexually as a child. That's trauma. The demon comes and whittles right into the soul of that child. And before you know it, the child is acting sexual. At an early age, you can spot it. The child's behavior changes. For instance, the child becomes a perpetual liar. Liars about everything. When you come across these children that just lie for no reason, just lie about everything, look at it. Because that's a narcissist. That's a narcissist in the making. And if children come around and they are sexual, that's a narcissist. That's a demon already with that child. Now, at an early age when narcissists are being developed, I'm not a therapist, so I don't know if you can head it off or what can happen after a child goes through trauma like that. But once the demon has taken over the soul, that's it. There's no changing. You can't come back and put the child in therapy and think that's going to change him and all that. No. Once the demon has taken over the soul, that's it. They will grow up with that demon and become grown-up narcissists out to destroy everyone. But children who have accepted the demon, you can see the signs. Like I said, they lie all the time about everything. They are sexual at a really early age. I mean, very, very, very early. As soon as, about when they go to school, 6, 5, 6, 7, they're already touching other kids. That's a narcissist. They don't like animals. These are kids who will try to hurt animals. So don't give them a puppy or a kitten because they would try to hurt him or kill him. That's the demon. When people see their kids with these signs, they'll take the kid to the therapist. Oh, they need therapy. But the therapist can't help because it's spiritual, people. It's a spiritual entity that has taken over that child. What do? You still got to try to raise the child, try to help the child. That's a very tough dilemma. Like I said, I'm not a therapist. I'm just going to help you spot it. All right. You don't want your children to be around children who are narcissists because they will influence your children. I remember when I was young and I met some children who wanted to touch you sexually. And I said, these children came out of the foster care system. And that's why I started off talking about foster care, because in foster care is, I'm not talking about all the parents that take care of these kids, but many of them only do it for the money. They don't really care about the kids. And the kids don't feel love. There's no love there. They're just there. They're mistreated, beaten in some cases, sexualized in other cases, and a lot of other things. This is what creates a narcissist. So it's not that all of a sudden when they become adults that they are narcissistic. It's not that. It begins with the child. Now, these are true narcissists. Now, there are grown-ups who have narcissistic characteristics. And this happens because the system praises narcissists. The system has no problem with a narcissist because the system teaches people to be very competitive. And whatever it takes to get on top, they praise that. They don't care how you got on top, just to be on top. So that's narcissists. Narcissists will destroy anyone trying to get to the top. But the narcissist many times don't achieve it because that demon is all about just destroying people. The demon is not worried about getting to the top. The demon is about destroying souls. That's all that demon is about. You see? Destroying souls. Now, I don't know if the demon can be exorcised or anything like that. I'm not on that end. You see, but I believe a narcissist is pretty hopeless. And these children that were raised in homes where there was a lot of violence, open sex, they could see mama, daddy having sex with other people in the home and all, that creates narcissists. You see? And these kids are dangerous because of their lying. They will lie on you with a straight face. For instance, a narcissist, a child narcissist, will say that you did something to them and you never did anything. You see, now you in trouble. That's a narcissist. People, beware of children. All children are not innocent. If they were raised around destruction, a lot of them can become narcissists. Narcissists, remember, narcissist is 3 steps down from a psychopath. It's the psychopath who is born. You can be born a psychopath. All right? Sociopaths are made, and so are narcissists. They are created by conditions that they are raised in or trauma that they have endured at an early age. This is what creates these people. But see, the narcissist is on the same line as these 3 deadly people. What do you do with children who do this sort of thing? I tell you, many times people don't know what to do with them. They put them in therapy, or they, just try to deal with them until they get grown and leave their homes. So they go out into the world and do exactly what the demon wants to do. Destroy other people. And these children, once the demon is in them, they will destroy it. They'll do everything they can to destroy what they can, even as a child. They'll destroy their own families by going around telling tales and carrying things and doing whatever. They will sexually molest their own siblings or try to hurt them physically, because the demon is all about destruction, total destruction. And I know, when we see kids and they're acting out, many times we just say, oh, well, that's just them now, or we just don't want to be bothered with them or whatever, not realizing that a demon has taken control of this child. Remember, people, we are in spiritual warfare all the time. And this evil is consistently trying to take over the light. It's trying to cover all of us in darkness. People, beware of this. And I want to give you a note of caution about adopting kids. A lot of these kids that you adopt have gone through trauma. A lot of trauma, many of them. And then you're going to bring them into your home. Beware of that. You may be bringing a demon home. Now, I'm only telling you from a spiritual perspective what you are doing. I tell you, the person that tried to touch me when I was a kid was a girl from foster care. You see? And I know it was learned behavior. Somebody touched her. So that's why she wanted to touch somebody else. And the other thing, people, your little babies, be careful about sending them off to the babysitter too. Many times, you don't really know these people who are raising your kids. And see, the way that the system is set up, that everybody got to work. The mama's got to work, daddy's got to work, and soon as you have a baby, you got to send them off to somebody else to raise. And that's what you're doing. You're not home to raise them. You only see them on the weekend. And usually when by the weekend comes, you're so exhausted from working 8, 9, 10 hours on your job. You don't have much time with your kids. Somebody else has more of an influence on your kids than you do. And many of those kids are being molested by babysitters. Be careful. Be very careful. And I don't care if it's a center and it looks safe and, and it's monitored out. You really don't know what kind of influence these people have on your children. And remember, nobody is going to treat your property the way that you would. And nobody's going to love your children the way that you would. So when you send your kids off to the sitter, and the sitter is raising them until they go to school, well, then the system is raising your children. Because when they go to school, all right, it just continues, whatever. And if they are narcissists and goes to school, they're probably praised because narcissists are extremely competitive. And in this world, when you are competitive, it's praised. It's praised to be the winner. So you do anything to be the winner. You'll step on people. You'll lie on people. You will hurt people to win. That's narcissist. People, be careful of your children. Love your children. Keep them close. And if by all means, ladies, when you have your precious little babies, try to stay home and take care of your babies yourself. And for me, I totally believe in homeschool. I really do. I think homeschool is the best if you are able to do that. Don't send them off to school. Now, because remember, school is only training your kid to be a worker bee, not to be a leader of anything. And when you throw your kids out into a public forum like that, even as a kid, they're teaching them to follow the rule. So if an adult there is a narcissist, they could influence your kid. Before you know it, your kid is acting funny and you don't know where it's coming from. Your kid is sexual. You don't know where it's coming from. Your kid is lying all the time. You don't know where that's coming from. It's because you've given your kid over to the system to raise. Love your children. Guard them from this evil. And this evil is everywhere. And don't think just because you send your kids to Bible camp and church camp and Sunday school and all that. Remember, religious organizations are filled with narcissists. What do you think these priests that touch the little boys? They're narcissists. They're sexualizing those kids, damaging them for life. And it's not just the priests that are doing it. It's a lot of narcissists in the church, turning people to the dark side. Be careful. And these camps, especially these mentoring camps, do not send your children to mentoring camps. Many of these men are narcissists. And the thing about it is, you send your boys off to camp, and then later on, you find, and then they come back, they're acting a little funny, you don't know what's going on, and they're not going to say anything to you because they are embarrassed what has happened to them. And then before you know it, years and years, now their life is in the toilet because something happened to them when you sent them off to camp. Stop sending your kids away. Keep your kids close and protect them, because people forget how evil the world can be. See, this evil is trying to take over. But for you, if you shield your children and keep a spiritual environment in your home, all of that will help to keep this evil away from you and your family. Now, this is another thing. If you are one that likes to sit around and watch porn and that kind of thing, don't let your children sit up and watch that crap. Don't do it. Because that demon is sitting right there with you. Right there with you. You got your baby there. You got to watch what you're doing. Your children are innocent, and their little minds are open and honest, fragile, and they can be taken over by an evil spirit just like that if you send them off to the wrong environment, to the wrong people. So protect them. And I realize, you think you're doing a good thing because, there's a lot of information coming out that single mothers cannot raise their kid, boys, especially if you have little boys. You can't raise your boys. You need a man around. Be careful of that. Be very careful. Don't send your little boys off for some man to mentor him. Don't do it. A lot of these men will molest your little boys, and next thing you know, he's a narcissist. Don't do it. Keep your kids close. It's evil, people. You see, narcissists are possessed with a demon. That's how you have to look at it. It's a full demon, and that demon is out to destroy others and to collect souls. Collect them. So whenever the narcissist spots someone who is loving and giving and that sort of thing, that's who the narcissist wants to capture. And the little kids, they're so innocent. And if you allow your kids to be around the wrong people, you could really have a problem. Don't believe everybody. I know this woman who had a best friend for a few years, and she had this baby and she had to work. And so she asked her friend for a referral where she could, for somebody could take care of her baby while she went to work. Okay. So she figured because her best friend was a friend, that she would give her a good person that would take care of her baby while she went to work. And the baby was still in her arms, little baby. So she believed her friend and gave her baby over to these people. Now, after a while, when she went to take the baby to the people, the baby was frantic. The baby didn't want to go to these people, but she had to go to work. So she had to kind of force to give the baby over to these people. Soon, the baby started trying to do sexual things to her. That's how she knew that the baby had been molested. Now, this was the baby was about, I guess, 2 or 3, something like that. The baby was showing that somebody had molested him, just like that. That's a problem. That's a big problem. And the people that she gave her baby to take care of, they were Christians. That's why I say you can't be deceived by people who say that they are spiritual people, Christian people, or whatever religion they claim that they are. Don't be deceived by that, because this demon has already infiltrated all houses of worship. So watch out, people. Watch out. And the reason why the demon is there is because people are so trusting when it comes to worship. They're believing whatever these pastors or counselors or whoever they are, whatever they're saying, they want to believe. They're vulnerable. And the demon can manipulate that situation totally. Be very, very careful, people. Don't send your kids off to these places. Do the best that you can. But if you can stay home with your children, I say that's the best bet. And if you can homeschool them, it's even better. I hope you understand the message today, and I really hope that it helps someone. Now, I want to thank you so much for supporting this channel. Thank you for your comments and your letters. And a very special thank you to those that leave a donation. I really appreciate all of you. I wish you all the very best. And I really hope to see you next time.